So everyone's been a kid, right? Like everyone in their childhood has played with kid things like different toys, different creativity materials. They've written on the walls, basically. Well, one of those things that like everyone has played with is crayons, right? So I was quite surprised when I was in the Michaels the other day. I came across this Caran D'ache Neocolor water soluble professional grade watercolor crayons. Now, I've used these quite a bit ever since I've gotten them, but I think it's so fascinating that what was deemed as a kid's product um, can be a professional item used for professional drawing. And these are quite expensive. These are about $35 on sale, $35 for the set of 15. So that's more than a dollar, more than definitely way more than a dollar per crayon itself. And that got me thinking. These are supposed to be water soluble. Well, another item that's supposed to be water soluble are these. These are Crayola's Ultra Clean Washable Crayons. These claim to be completely water soluble, and meaning that they'd wash off your clothes or clothing or something like that. And that got me thinking about, would these act the same way as these in regards to watercolor? And so today, that's what we're going to be looking at. Can Crayolas keep up with Caran D'aches in terms of water solubility and in terms of just general appearance? So yeah, let's get to it. Figured that since I would be doing kind of like a split sort of thing where I would have on one half the crayon and the other half the Caran D'ache, that I would base it off of Joe Gardner from Soul, because that movie, he kind of has like two different appearances in it. So as you see here, I'm actually sketching out the face, and I'm basing it off of a reference from the promotional images for Soul, and I'm now beginning the inking process. This was quite a bit of fun to do, just going in there and kind of just going all out. So now that I'm getting all the inking in and getting like into the mustache and the hair and the hat in, I finally begin opening up there and start with having the left side be the Caran D'ache, and I start with just a little bit of shading and then get the skin tone in there. And it looks initially looks really freaking choppy. So, but when you add the water, as you can see, it blends so smoothly. It absolutely is like butter. So I was quite impressed with the Caran D'aches when they were operating like that. And then I continued to do that, and I continued to add shading. And once I finished adding shading, I moved on to the other side. Now you can see here I'm moving on and using the crayon, and as you can see, it's not nearly as nice as the other ones. I was, however, impressed with how well the crayon blended. As you can see there, it blended rather smoothly. So, but in many ways, as you can see upcoming here, it was a struggle to get good color and good pigment on the paper. So I'm just adding more color to it, and then I'm kind of going back, and then I start adding the background to it, and start going back and forth between, like, the neck, the body, the head, and the background, and the hat and stuff like that. And where the crayons really showed their struggle was in the background. As you can see, I'm adding a ton of water there, and it still wasn't blending. And then finally I added the details of the hat and to the shirt. And I actually went back and I did the same thing, and I noticed that it was a lot smoother and a lot easier to get pigment and color with the Caran D'aches, and especially with the background, as you can see here, it was way easier to blend. So as you can see, here is the final result between the Caran D'aches and the water soluble crayons. As you can see, the Caran D'aches absolutely flogged the crayons to death. I mean, you can't really tell very much with the skin tone because it's not very noticeable, but especially with the background, I had to put so much water on this side in order to get this to be soluble, in order to get as much pigment. This had way more pigment on this side than this. So that kind of concludes it then. The Caran D'aches act way better in regards to just coloring than regular old Crayola crayons. So that means that you should go out and buy these, right? Wrong, actually, because while I was doing research for this video, I came across these. Artist Locked Water Soluble Wax Pastels and Faber-Castell's 15 watercolor crayons. They both perform almost as well as Caran D'ache, but this is only $15 and this on sale is $12. So you get these for way cheaper than the Caran D'aches, and they as you can see with this drawing here, can perform just as well as Caran D'aches. So yeah, that basically sums it up. If you want to get into really fun, like a fascinating mixed media combination of crayon work and watercolor, going with these, and heck, I do think that these are really good. So if you have the money and you want to get these, absolutely go for it. But if you want to just get started, definitely go with these. These are absolutely a ton of fun, and they are an absolute blast to work with. So yeah, this has basically been this video. It's kind of a study of all these different things. So that's basically it.